What's up, guys? So before we get started with this video, I wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about some breaking news that we had found out yesterday on social media. And if you guys have been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, then you will know that the WWE and the WWE Universe lost a legend. Two-time WWE Hall of Famer, the immortal Hulk Hogan. Hogan was arguably one of, if not the most influential, controversial, but one of the most inspiring of stars in professional wrestling. Whether it was WWE, WCW, TNA, it didn't matter. Every promotion that he was in, he always made, no pun intended with TNA, an impact. Having have won more than a dozen world championships across WWE and WCW, Hulk Hogan was truly an icon in the industry. Some of his most infamous moments featured body slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, as well as having a huge instant classic matchup against fellow two-time Hall of Famer, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And his most controversial moment of all time was obviously the formation of the NWO in WCW. I believe it was at the Great American Bash, or Bash of the Beach, I think it was called back then. I know that literally 10 years ago yesterday, Hulk Hogan had made some interesting remarks on social media, and I get that fans still hate him for it. So I think even in spite of that, Hulk Hogan will definitely go down in history as one of the greatest of all time. And I know that, and I would do a bit of a story video on his career, like I did with Goldberg and Damage Control and the Undisputed Era. Even did a video on the legacy of the Universal Championship. But I'm pretty sure that video will probably get a bunch of dislikes, and I will probably lose subscribers for that. So, as much as I want to, I will not. But I will say that that Hulk Hogan definitely made a huge impact on the wrestling world, even in spite of the things that they said. Our condolences go out to the entire Hogan family, and of course every single person that has been friends with Hogan for so many years. Our condolences go out to you guys. I mean, Hulk Hogan once said that Hulkamania lives forever. Now, it truly will. And on that, we now shift our gears into today's video because Doom of Dimensions have announced some new Tri-Brigade support and some new True Draco support. In fact, I believe there's 2 cards for the Tri-Brigade archetype, and 3 new cards for the True Draco archetype. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get straight into it, and we are going to kick things off with Tri-Brigade Arms Mouser. Arms Mouser, I believe it's pronounced. which actually it kind of looks like Fairjet. She kind of looks like Fairjet in a way, which is pretty cool. But it is a Earth Beast Link 2 with 1800 attack, and its arrows are bottom left and bottom right, and it requires 2 Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters. And both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is linked summon, you can send 2 Tri-Brigade cards with different names from your deck and or extra deck to the grave, except this card. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monsters. Second effect reads, if this card is sent to the grave, you can target one face-up monster on the field, change it to face-down defense. Okay, so this is basically a Fool's Burial for any deck that for pretty much any and all like Beast Warrior and Winged Beast decks, which could be it could be Fluunderies, Tri-Brigade itself, and even also Harpy decks as well, because even Harpy decks can use the Tri-Brigade Link monsters, just because of the fact that you're able to add a Winged Beast from your deck to your hand. You can resurrect them from the graveyard and Link Climb into a potential Link 3 or Link 4, depending on your board. It's actually a pretty solid strategy, and also this also acts as a Book of Moon as well. So that's actually really good. Really solid effect. But the only downside is that when you use the first effect, you're locked into Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monsters when you summon from the extra deck. So theoretically speaking, if your extra deck consists of monster cards that to which you only have like maybe one or two like Winged Beast monsters or whatever, then you're pretty much just screwed. You're pretty much screwed, and your only option is to ensure that your board becomes solid with just by using your back row. So that's like the only downside, and also to another downside is that if you don't have any Winged Beast, Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monsters in your extra deck, you're not allowed to summon anything at all. So you would have to ensure that your extra deck consists of at least 3 or 4 Winged Beast monsters to go into your extra deck plays, which is kind of a downside if you really look at it. Next up, we've got Tri-Brigade Hammer. And it is a quick play spell, with the effect being a once per turn, but you can only use each effect once per turn. So it reads, add 1 Tri-Brigade spell or trap from your deck to your hand except this card. Banish any number of Tri-Brigade cards from your grave. Special summon a Tri-Brigade Link monster from your extra deck with a Link rating equal to the number banished, ignoring its summoning condition, and you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monsters. Okay, so interestingly enough, you can actually you can do a Tri-Brigade Harpy deck, and it would still be a pretty decent strategy, which I might have to look that up. I might have to look up possible Tri-Brigade Harpy decks and see what pops up, because I don't know. Maybe it could be that and throw in a couple of copies of that grass looks greener, and you would basically just have full combo right there. So it's not a bad idea, but this is basically spell trap Rhoda, and it allows you to link summon without having to use any of the monster's summoning conditions, which even that alone is just absolutely busted. So so this ensures that you're able to get your hands on the Tri-Brigade field spell, and you can go ahead and activate the field spell, full combo, GG's, plain simple. Not too bad at all. But now we move into the true Draco support, and the first one that we have is Masterpiece, the True Drake Overlord. You heard me right. Masterpiece is getting a retrain. Now the question becomes, how broken is the card? Well, let's find out. It is a 10-star Dark Worm with 2950 attack and defense, and it says requires 3 tributes to normal summon face up, but you contribute continuous spells or traps you control as well as monsters. And both of its effects are once per turn. Excuse me. The first effect reads: when your opponent activates a monster effect in the hands or field, and you control this tribute summoned card. Excuse me. As a quick effect, you can negate the activation and destroy that card. Second effect reads: if this tribute summoned card is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect while in its owner's control, you can skip your opponent's next main phase. Okay. Would I say that this card is better than the original Masterpiece, the true Draco Slayer? No, honestly, no. I wouldn't say that it is, because Masterpiece is basically an Omni Protection. So what that means is that if you were to tribute a monster, a spell, and a trap to summon out Masterpiece, you literally have protection from everything. Like literally, your opponent cannot do jack shit. Not even cards like Valor, Dark Ruler No More, Fiendish Chain. Nothing would work against Masterpiece. However, with this card, this is essentially Solemn Judgment, and a way to basically just skip your opponent's main phase straight into the battle phase. So if your opponent doesn't have any monsters on board during the battle phase, all they can do is just go to main phase 2, play their combo, and that's pretty much it. But interestingly enough, it said your opponent's next main phase, meaning that it could be its main phase 1, main phase 2, maybe it is main phase 1. I'll let you guys let me know down in the comments. But again, would I consider this a perfect retrain of the original? No. Honestly, no. Again, yes, it is Solemn Judgment on a 10-star 2950 body. The only issue that I have is that the only issue that I have is that this card literally has to be a conditional summon, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is, if you have cards in your back row and cards in your monster zone that just got negated, and there's nothing you can do about those cards, you can tribute them off, summon out this guy. But if your opponent has a way to stop Masterpiece, to stop this card, then you're essentially just screwed. So yeah, True Draco, not the best deck. Not the best, but still, it's a pretty okay archetype in my opinion. Next up, we've got Mariamine, the Mariamine Paradox, the True Draco Phoenix Knight. which is a 6-star Wind Worm with 1800 attack, 1400 defense. And it says to tribute this card face up, you contribute a continuous spell or trap you control instead of a monster. And both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is in your hand, you can destroy one other true Draco or true King card in your hand or face up field. And if you do, special summon this card to either field. Second effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon from the hand, banish the top 4 cards of your deck. Okay. So I believe the rule is that if you summon this card to your opponent's board, then that means they have to banish the top 4 cards from their deck. Meaning that if all they have is 4 cards in their deck, and you special summon this card to their board, they're pretty much screwed. They're literally screwed, and all they can do is scoop. Like literally, that's literally all they can do. So this is actually not too bad. I mean, it's technically a kaiju. It literally is like a mini kaiju. Enough said. Just enough said. Enough said, you guys. Now we move into the last card of the video. It is known as Draco Standoff, which is a quick play, which is a continuous spell. Sorry, a continuous spell, and the second effect is a once per turn. And the first effect reads, when this card resolves, you can add 1 true Draco or true King monster or a Draco Slayer or Drake Overlord Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads, if a face-up true Draco and or true King monster you control is destroyed by battle card effect and sent to the grave, you can target one of them, place it face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. So again, this is actually this is really cool because you can take cards from, again, you can take cards from your graveyard, put them into your back row as a continuous spell, and if you have cards in your hand or in your deck that lets you bounce monsters from your back row to your back onto your front lines, you can actually do that. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the true Draco archetype, but I will say that they are very interesting, and it's not the best deck. It's more of a rogue strategy, but I have seen on social media photos of rogue decks that have actually won YCS events over the years, including I think a Blue Eyes deck in 2017. True Draco was a pretty decent deck in 2018. So there's that. So yeah, again, so there've been a few. There have been quite a few. But I will say that these cards are definitely interesting. The Tri-Brigade cards are definitely going to play a huge factor going into the new format once this set gets released, because by the time this set gets released in September, I can guarantee you that Mitsurugi and Malice are going to be the 2 decks that will get completely nerfed out of their fucking mind. So it's going to be very interesting to see what decks will be in the format post Worlds ban list when this set gets released in September. And on that note, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.